Hi there, Soulful Spirits. Linda Roberts here. We are here today for just about 20 or 30 minutes to talk about that inner child. This is day 2 of our Inner Child Challenge, where I'm going to talk with you about some of those qualities and characteristics that you may have if you are needing some inner child work, and how you can overcome some of those challenges, and how you can do some inner child healing, and help that part of your soul so that you can be the best that you possibly can be. I was just reading something about voting and early voting and that, and I've voted early. I've done my duty with that, and I hope as the election is approaching that you can do what you need to do to get out and vote safely and in a good way. So don't forget to vote if you haven't done so already, and make plans to do so. Hi, Candela. So the Inner Child Challenge. I was called to address this and to create this challenge for our community here because I've seen it play out time and time again with so many clients and so many people these days, especially since we are sheltered in and we're looking inward a lot of times, and we're seeing some things. We're seeing our relationships maybe in a different light, relationships with others, relationships with ourselves. And so going inward to tap into that inner child and maybe remedying or healing what may be going on for her is going to help you in the long run, because she's a part of you. She's in there. Hi, Sue. And so yesterday I talked about the let me look at my notes. My notes are over here. Sorry. Yesterday I talked about the boundary issue. Hi, Dila, and having healthy boundaries. So if you didn't watch that live, watch the replay. It's in the media section of this group, and the date was yesterday. So consider that, because boundaries comes up so oftentimes, not only from the animal's perspective on their humans having healthy boundaries with them or with other people, but also with people. So consider or evaluate or reflect upon your boundaries. Are you holding true to your boundaries? Are you honoring what feels right for you? And if not, we can go into that inner child work to tap into that and to shift some things for you. So watch that video for, it was yesterday. So today we're talking about reassurance, that need to be accepted and wanting to know that we're doing the right thing. So if you have this tendency of always thinking of others, or always putting others' needs or feelings in front of you, you're actually harming your inner child, because she has a voice, she has feelings, she has needs as well. And so when you're always, I'm just saying always, overriding what her needs are, then you are harming her to some extent. And so what you want to do is you want to balance it. Remember, balance is the name of the game here. So by balancing your needs, wants, and desires and feelings with those of other people or animals in your life is key. And it's like a tightrope walk. Sometimes you feel like you're going to teeter or fall, and it is a challenge to do this sometimes, because we're loving and compassionate and empathic souls, most of us in this group. So we always strive to help one another, and sometimes it's at the detriment to ourselves. So we don't want to do that too often. Of course, every so often, yes. Those who are in the medical profession right now, they're putting their lives on the line for us. And so there are times and situations when, yes, we do need to park some of our own fears or feelings in that, and go and help others when the time is right. But I'm saying on a general overall basis to balance this. So having to have reassurance from someone else to make you feel good about you that's giving away your power. So the inner child is not in a power position at that point. You're actually giving away your power when you're asking for reassurance or confirmation from somebody that yes, they love you, or yes, they're there for you, or whatever it may be. So consider that. Consider honoring this inner child and allowing her to come out and play a little bit more and be a little more playful. You know, our lives here are not work, work, work. We didn't come here to work and then to die. We came here for experiences and for learnings and for joy and pleasure and hardship, believe it or not, because we don't know and appreciate the good unless we have the bad. Right? The bad makes the good feel so much better. So it's a balancing act. So balance connecting with that inner child, that inner part of you, that child that's within you, and allow her to play and allow her to voice what she's feeling sometimes. She can voice it to just you. I'm not saying you have to have, yourself talk like a child to someone else, but connect with her. And so I gave you some tips about how to connect with her in yesterday's video. So today I want to talk about the reassurance. And so I've got a ton of examples, but I'm going to share just one with you. And so so this one individual is, she had a challenging childhood. And so I don't know if her inner child got muted because of the challenges that she had growing up, but she would make, before she made any move in her life, just about like 90% of the time, any move that she made in her life, she would ask everyone around her if it was okay to do it. So she was trying to get reassurance from others that she was doing the right thing. And I don't know if it's because her self-esteem was it escaped her in her childhood, or I only knew her as an adult. But tapping into your own power within you via that inner child concept is going to help you to stand more in your power, so you can honor the acceptance of others, or you can honor the rejection of others. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't have to please everybody all the time. There are deeply rooted abandonment issues associated with that. So if you are feeling, oh my gosh, I've got to be loved and accepted by everybody, I'm sorry, I don't think that's realistic. We're here to be unique and individual, and sometimes that goes against the grain, and sometimes it goes in harmony with others. So it's just the name of the game here. So what I guided my friend to do was to flip some of her mindset, because she was so programmed. She had been doing this for several decades of, I got to get everyone's input before I make a decision. I mean, from decorating her kitchen, it was her house. It was her own house. And she had it outright, and she had children with her because she had divorced, but she wanted everybody's opinion about how to redecorate the kitchen. Am I doing the right color? Am I doing the right tile? Am I doing this? And it wasn't just a select few of individuals. It was several people that she was asking for reassurance and confirmation. And then she would do it for other things that had to do more with her being liked and accepted by others. So I found her going and doing a lot of different things that she didn't really have an interest in doing, but she did it, as she told me after the fact, to be a part of a group or a community, or to be liked by this particular individual. And because I was confused when she was telling me she was doing some of these things, and I was surprised because it didn't seem like it was in alignment with her and who she was. And so later on we talked about it, and she disclosed, yeah, I think I just did that to get along with them, and I don't know what I was thinking, and so she was coming from this wounded spot, this wounded child of wanting reassurance, wanting to be accepted, because I think growing up, her parents didn't really give that to her. And I'm not putting blame on the parents, but she didn't feel that they gave it to her. And so it was her perception that she had to do these things to be loved, and that makes love conditional. That makes love a conditional thing when you go around and you're doing things like that. So trying to flip that, what I suggested to her, she flipped that mindset where she wanted to ask for reassurance from everybody around her about whether she should do something or whatnot. I suggested that maybe she do something in the opposite direction of that, just a little bit. Nothing to a grand scale, like going off and getting married to some stranger or something like that. But just little baby steps of trying to not ask someone for the reassurance or the approval. Just see how it feels, and it helped her gradually to be more confident and to be standing in her power a little bit more. And boy, it just kind of snowballed with her over about a year's time to have her just eventually, through baby steps, step into that place of power and confidence, and knowing that she was enough, that she didn't need reassurance from everybody all the time, that she was enough. And so there was healing that was taking place with her when I was talking with her in that. I'm just looking at comments here. So yeah, Dila, I'm glad you can you can relate. So Dila says, yeah, my horses bullied me until I learned healthy boundaries. So those of you who are working with animals closely, like dog trainers, groomers, anyone who has a horse, if you've got 1,000 or 2,000 pound animal that you're working with, or you're standing next to, or you're leading in and out of a barn or something, you have to be in the present moment, and you can't let these creatures bully you or push you around, because you will get harmed, you will get hurt. And so you learn quite readily when you're working with especially the larger animals, or ferocious animals. There's ferocious cats and there's ferocious dogs as well. You learn to show them healthy boundaries, and not in a harsh way. You can be quiet, calm, and confident, and stand in your power. I've done it oftentimes with horses that are coming charging at me, and I just stand there and hold my space and remind them that they need to honor where I'm at. And I've been fortunate that they listen to me when I'm saying that. But if you know anything about horses, for those of you who are in the group right now with horses, naming the game that allows one to respect one's boundaries in the horse world is, if I can get you to move your feet, I'm the winner. So if you can get a horse to move its feet, just to maybe back up or to step to the left or to the right, you're most likely honoring your boundaries and teaching them to honor your boundaries. Now, if a horse is pushing at you or getting you to step backwards or tip off to your central body weight, then the horse is thinking, okay, well, I can win this game because I got you to move your feet. So it's a dance. Working with animals is a dance, absolutely. So there's give and take. But learning boundaries is just so important. And so back to the reassurance. Reassurance is connected with boundaries because, in a way, you're saying, I'm of value and I can honor my decisions, or I can honor my feelings or my thoughts. And they just are. And I can choose to honor someone else's thoughts or feelings or not. It's a choice. We have free will, so it's a choice. So coming out of that, needing reassurance, the one tip that I have for you to suggest is to do something similar to what I suggested to my friend, is to flip it. Just do entirely the opposite of what you would normally do if you find yourself in this pattern of constantly needing reassurance and acceptance from others. Of course, humans are gregarious. We want to be around people. We want to be in communities. And I'm not saying entirely reject the sense of being a part of that. What I'm saying is if you have a tendency and a pattern of constantly needing reassurance, when you have found that it's limiting for you, then these are some of the things that I suggest that you do. And it's that inner child who helps us to be stronger in our power so that we can say to others, I honor your input. Thank you for that. But I don't need to ask for it. I don't need to ask for that reassurance. And so honoring that inner child is going to help you to stand in your power just a bit more. And this inner child, as I was saying yesterday, it's a part of us that is very divine and very pure and childlike. You know, we came here to experience life. We didn't come here to just work. We want to play a little bit and experience things. But also, this inner child is very powerful, and she is a guide. Tap into your guidance and connect with this inner child. Again, the video that I had yesterday talked a little bit about it, but connecting with her, I usually feel her in the heart center for myself, and doing a meditation or when I'm doing energy work on myself, I will connect with her to say, hey, how are we doing? What can I do to make our lives better? And when I did that years ago, gosh, it was about 9 years ago, wow, I got an earful. I got a whole lot of information about things that I should change in my life and things that I need to stop doing and come out of. And so I took that information and that guidance and I gradually made changes. I did not make sudden urgent changes in my life because some of those things were very big in my life and impactful, like divorce. What am I going to do with the children? What am I going to do for my career? How am I going to feed myself and shelter myself? And so I knew that those were big decisions and I had to do things gradually, but I heeded the information from my inner child. And gosh, I'm glad I did, because I was able to get out of a abusive marriage as well as do something that I really love. I mean, I love doing this. I'm very passionate about what I do, and I love giving voice to the animals, and I love helping humans to come back into their power. Earth is a heavy 3D experience, and it weighs on you. And so releasing some of those wounds and some of the weight by connecting with that inner child is going to help you to be the best that you can be and to help you to live, the dreams that you really want. So let me just look at my notes. So connecting, hold on. Oh, one other thing about this reassurance pattern is it can lead you to be very confused. So I don't know if you know of individuals who have chameleon-like tendencies where they blend in to get along with everybody, and it may be you, which is fine, but yes, it's needed at times to be a chameleon and to blend in sometimes, but all the time I think is at a detriment, and doing that all the time, you're going to be confused as to, well, I don't know where to go in my life. I don't know where I want to live. I don't know where I want to work. I'm just kind of going to go. And I'm just going to let people guide me, and I'm going to let, gosh, I got a phone call for a job for, telemarketer. Maybe that's what I should do. Instead of tapping into yourself and asking yourself, what is it you want to do? You're letting the world influence you to be who you are. And so tapping into the inner child gives you a little more backbone, if you will, a little more courage and strength to stand in your power and say, you know, I don't think I want to be a telemarketer. I think I want to be an author, and I want to write books to help children to deal with anxiety. That's what I want to do. So if you deny the voice that your inner child has, if you don't listen to her, you are going to be lost, because she is a guide. And so she's here to help you and to guide you. So I am going to conclude today. So remember to tap into the inner child as best you can. You can do a meditation. You can journal to connect with her, or hear her voice. But connect with her as best you can, and then flip some of those patterns of things, the way that you respond to things, the way that you react to things. Flip that gradually so that you can stand in your power a little bit more, and declare that, you know, you want joy, you want this experience, or you want this kind of life, and you can declare that. So I hope you've enjoyed today's challenge, and oh, you're welcome, Dila. And stay tuned for tomorrow. Tomorrow's the third day of our 3-day Inner Child Challenge, where I'll talk with you about how to overcome some anxiety and how that can relate to the inner child healing and connecting. So thank you all for joining in. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you want to watch the replay and leave a comment or a question, do that as well, because I will be checking the comments. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow here at noon. Bye for now.